Hello, y'all. Be starting in a second. I just need to, I just remembered a card I wanted to add to the thing. If y'all know, that makes sense. If y'all have watched a bunch of my stuff before, you know what I mean. And just need to, do a quick thing in OBS to make sure that's in there. Okay, good. That's all set up. Okay. I'm gonna throw back to the break, and then we'll start back in like 2 seconds. Here we go. Hello, y'all. How's it going? It is Friday. It is July 24th, and it is time now for viewer levels, as it always is on Fridays on this channel. Folks, hope you've had a good week. I've had a plenty good week myself. A lot of long streams this week, I'll say, and on account of that, let me get to the point. Let me pull the first card and talk about something and just set something up for this stream. In particular, basically, tonight, I'd like to stream less time than the last few streams. That's both, you know, the last few as in the last few streams, which have included such as, I think it took like a 10-hour playthrough of Link to the Past on Tuesday. There was Splatoon on Wednesday, which was like 4 hours, not that long. But also Donkey Kong, the DK Challenge, which took about, what was that, like 10 hours to finish? 8 hours maybe? Some long streams in the last week, but also the last few Mario Maker 2 viewer level streams have been like 5-6 hours long. And I feel like it's time for something shorter. I feel like it's time to, I should be trying to get this down to a good length so that we're not going on too deep into the night tonight. Instead, we get something nice and quick and reasonably size, a reasonable length of stream. To that effect, let me say what I feel a reasonable length of stream to be. That's what the next card says. Basically, seriously, we're going to make it shorter than Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which, if you don't know, is a lovely movie that just came out this week. I saw it last night. I had a great time. That movie is about 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is a lot for a movie, but surprisingly, when you look at the length of streams that I do, is lower than is shorter than 90% of streams that I do. 95 maybe even. Like even a regular length stream I feel like on this channel is like 3-4 hours. So we're way above what would be seen as a huge runtime for movies, which I think it is time to have a shorter stream in contrast to that. So yeah, so to that effect, I will say it's about 6:15 now. We will start the lightning round around an hour from now, around 7:15. We will aim to close the queue within an hour of the lightning round starting. And I'll say I do not have that many cards to do. I did not come in with a million things to talk about. Just like 10, maybe. And ideally, that should result in a lesser length of stream. I'd like to say, wow, that's a long movie, but you used to watch 2-hour in-game anime episodes. You know, well, the standards of one media are different from the standards of another. It is definitely a long movie, but this will not be a long stream. You know, in stream standards, this will be short. But how short? As short as a really, 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 really long movie. So, go figure how the math of that works out. We all understand what I was saying? We all understand how this works. We all are happy to be here. I don't need to have any more introduction. Hello, I'm here to play your viewer levels, the ones submitted in queue right now, such as the first one up from Countess Timpani. Occasionally, I'm gonna drink my water. Okay, let's do it. It's time for viewer levels proper. Nice quick introduction. Let's have a nice quick stream. For those who are new or who otherwise need how this works. The way that this works is if you are here, when your level comes up, I will give it 12 minutes plus 5 last tries if that's not enough. If you are not here, I will still play the level, but I will do so in very nearly but not quite sudden death, wherein I will only have 2 tries refreshing at checkpoints. That is how I compromise between prioritizing the folks who are here, which is good policy, and playing more levels, which is fun. This is going to be a hard one if I know a Countess Timpani level. One wrong step and your irregular rhythm will fall apart. As a 3-minute world record, how long was the clear check? The clear check is a minute. What? Is there checkpoints in here? That's a odd discrepancy between those two things, but also maybe this is just very, very, very hard. Let's do it! Knowing Countess Timpani, it's probably very, very, very hard. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's an on-off. Cool. You will say there's 2 checkpoints. Oh, cool, nice. That's surprisingly lenient. So, as far as this being irregular, I will note that, yes, the way when the red is on, there's a longer period of red, and then a slightly less long period of blue. You can see because the blue has a block there that speeds up the length of blue, so this... We gotta rush through blues, and we gotta, like, sort of relax on reds. Ooh. That's, hard to... That's hard. It's also just hard jumping sometimes. I don't know if... That time wasn't down to timing, that last time. This is, I can see why the clear rate is... Honestly, it's pretty high for one of your levels, Timpani. But, still pretty low in modest terms. How y'all doing? I'll say I've had a good week. Like I said, I did see the Odyssey. We'll talk about it as we tend to do. I have a whole list of things I want to discuss, as I tend to do, and we will do that in between levels generally. Though we can just start talking about... You want to talk about the Odyssey? Fuck it. Yeah, this level, maybe not the most stimulating conversation-wise. I saw Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey yesterday. Speaking of Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, as far as length goes, I mentioned that as far as, forget about the length thing. It's a fucking good movie. It, you know, it's the kind of movie where you see it and you're going in there going like, a 3-hour log. That sounds like a lot. And then you're watching it and you're like, ooh, you're just having a great time. You're fully engrossed. Cool stuff is happening. It, is getting to its plot points, one plot point at a time. And you're having a hell of a time with, like, every single development and shit. You know? Every single thing that happens is really good and tense and cool, and it has themes that are really well put together. I believe they are just the themes of the Odyssey, it turns out, but I didn't know that much about the Odyssey, so that's it's news to me that it has such strong themes and meaning and all that, and they really, like, go hard on those themes, on that meaning, on that story, and I think as a result it's just a real compelling piece of fiction, a piece of movie telling, you know. It's a damn good movie. It's really cool. The action is great. And at the end, you walk away with something, you know, feeling like a profound thing has been communicated through film. You know, it has a message. It has a heart. It has, you know, a story, in other words. Something to say. And, you know, let's talk about the controversy. Let's talk about what, you know, chuds have been saying. Because I'll say, since I got out of the movie theater, I've been kind of watching a bunch of stuff about the Odyssey. Both things about the original tale, like, where the hell did it take place? Like, where the hell is the, it's supposed to be? And funny enough, I saw two equally convincing arguments for, like, one guy was like, okay, everyone says it's just like around the Mediterranean, but actually, I think they actually exited the Mediterranean. They went to like North America and shit. There's actually some places across the sea that could correspond to, and they did say it took them like weeks, months to get out there. That doesn't make sense in the Mediterranean, too small. And I saw another one that was like, you know, hey, no, it's not the whole Mediterranean, it's just Greece. They're just in Greece. They did not get out of their backyard. They're trying to go home. They're not doing the thing. Am I in the wrong Twitch category? I'll fix that. Is it not in the... Oh, I must have just forgotten after Splatoon to set it. Oh, I see what I did. I X'd out Splatoon, but didn't add Super Mario Maker 2. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't, that was a mistake, yeah. No, not intentional. Ow, ow, ow! That hurt. So, yeah, lovely movie, recommend seeing it. The thing about the chuds, right? They've been saying things like, you know, apparently they have all sorts of complaints, primarily about the action. Should we do some Splatoon this weekend? Maybe. That'd be fun. I think. We should... That would be good. I feel like this should be something that's, you know, all... That'd be a good idea. That's like the best way to play Splatoon, is in a co-op fashion. We'll talk about that in a bit. Right now, let's continue focusing on, the Odyssey's fucking great, y'all. And I feel like these chuds have been saying a bunch of stuff, right? Basically talking about like, oh, you know, the actors are not... There's black people in it, and they don't like that. They also don't like Elliot Page being in it. I didn't realize that was Elliot Page, but I thought he had a really great performance. I thought he was great in the role. I really liked, honestly, I think everyone, top to bottom in the Odyssey gave a super good performance, and, you know, I wasn't even distracted by everyone being a film star. You know, I kind of just saw them and it's like, oh, is that Spider-Man? That is Spider-Man! Oh, he's really well cast as, like, Odysseus's young, inexperienced boy. You know, child who is too soon to, take the throne. You know, I thought Elliot Page was great as the, soldier who is, you know, apparently he was, drafted as a young boy, you know, like a 10-year-old or something. And, So like, it's sort of a tragic thing, him being, part of this war, and, like, you know, compared to all the other soldiers, he's kind of green, and, you know, his fate is tragic in the way that, many of them are. And also, like... You know, all that aside, all the drama around, like, historical inaccuracy. First off, obviously, it's a fable. It's not real. A lot of the places they go aren't real. I saw a video right before starting the stream, basically saying, like, oh, look at these guys. They're in, like, steel-plated armor. How ahistorical. And I'm just looking at that and going like, dude, they're giants. They're fucking not real. They can have whatever fucking armor they want. If they came out dressed in mithril, it would be appropriate because they're not real. You could have them be whatever. And also, it's worth noting as far as historical accuracy of Odysseus goes, like, you know, even at the time, when the story of Odysseus was, like, written, apparently, they didn't know about tusk hats and stuff. They just drew them as hoplites, the crew of the Odyssey and all that, as Odysseus as, like, a hoplite, so, you know, the armor is the traditional depiction of Odysseus, even if it is ahistorical, and also, who cares? The story is what matters, and the story is fucking dope, and also the action is fucking dope, and also the characters are fucking really great and well realized. There's so much cool, weird magic in the world that is like, you know, the world is brimming in the Odyssey with like weird, undiscovered shit, which is, you know, no one knows quite how to deal with when it comes at them, and it's a lot of fun, as well as having, like I said, all the deep meaning in the world. It's a fucking great movie, and yeah, just highly recommended. The Chuds could not be more wrong, and also, like, it has never been easier to make fun of the Chuds, basically saying, like, things such as, you know, obviously the people who are like, well, I don't like his hat. I feel like those people are easy to make fun of, but they are very benign. You know, like, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's not terribly historically accurate. There's a bunch of monsters and stuff running around as well. That's not how it was back in the day. That's not real, as it were. But disregarding that, you know, the people who are like, well, I don't like the black people. Those people, like, okay, well, they did a great job. I actually really like the, I think there's like the Indian dude. I think that guy's like, Indian. He's like Patel or something, like the second in command of Odyssey's crew, of Odysseus's crew. Like, I thought that dude had a very cool look. And, every time he was in danger, I was like, no, Chud is definitely a word to describe someone who's like a big racist son bitch. It's a thing that people say. Chad is like the positive version of that. A Chud is like a wanker. I would describe that as. There's also things like, you know, I'll say, like, watching it and not having seen a lot of the controversy beforehand, I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. Apparently people were complaining, saying things like, oh, it's weird that the dude says dad instead of father. You know, he doesn't speak like a stuffy English person, which is like, okay, well, you know, the Greeks didn't speak English in the first place, so what the fuck does it matter what accents they have? It's not... They're speaking Greek. Pretend they are, and it's fine, it's good. The important thing is the story and the performances. Would you have everyone do, like, a fake accent? That's just going to make everyone's performance worse, isn't it? I don't know. Timer's up, 5 last tries, here we go! Anyway, it's a phenomenal movie. If you want to know, like, what the message is, if you've read the Odyssey, if you're familiar, if you don't want to be spoiled, like, you know, look away for a second. But I'll just say, you know, a thing that's fascinating to me about the Odyssey, having seen it now, is how in many ways it feels like a comparable piece to, like, 300, right? Historical, stuff about historical myth, battle account, etc. About historical, you know, Greek soldiers and all that. But it could not have a more opposite thesis. Whereas, like, 300, the dominant energy is, like, anger and rage, and, you know, they took our woman or whatever, and shit like, or this cannot stand, I will kick you in the pit, I am very angry. The predominant emotion of the Odyssey is like, I want to go home. I'm very sad that the world I live in is clearly declining. Things seem fucked up, and the gods are angry with me, and I just want to go fucking home, and I can't help but think something I did. I can't help but think that this is my fault. That's like the big feeling of the Odyssey, and it's wonderfully conveyed. It's wonderfully communicated. It's wonderfully clear. And it could not be, it's very war is bad, isn't it? We killed Troy, but we also killed the world. We killed civilization. We killed us all. Things aren't going to be the same anymore. Sincerely regret that. We all do. And that is just, like, I think a really relevant thing in today's day and age. A really, effective, thing to communicate. A really, effective message. It really works, and I find that beautiful, and I find it just, I think people have been saying that, like, it's the right message for the right time, and yeah, I think that this is a thing that, like, is worth saying at this time. It feels very, it feels very, like, timely, topical. Yes, shit. Things are going downhill, in our world, too. Sea people, I hardly know people. The sea people come up in the thing. It makes sense if you've seen it. Don't worry about it if you haven't. Watch the movie. Go see it. It's goddamn good. I should have known it was good when they did that trailer that was just the I'm hitting complete, by the way. Thank you. And bringing up the next person. I should have known it's 06i. Go ahead and confirm 06i. 06i, you're just say whatever. I think 06i, it will say something in 2 seconds. He said hi. Perfect. Okay. I think it's just a wonderful movie. I had a great time. I'm thinking about it after the fact and basking in it and thinking about Greek myth and, I think it's the best thing that's happened to Greek mythology since Hades and Hades 2. Since those two games, and it is on that level, I would say, and just conveys, like, oh shit, they were onto something. They had something back in the day. There is really a reason why the Odyssey stood the test of time and is still talked about today. And I guess, like, people who read it and paid attention to it in high school now can be like, see, it was good. I guess, I don't know. Couldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. Do it as a really fucking good movie by a guy who makes really fucking good movies, though? Oh, I'm so delighted. Let's go. Let's do it. 06i confirmed. Hell yeah. And remember, we're looking, we're 7:15 will be the end of this first phase. We're still trying to keep under the length of the Odyssey. So at this point, we're like, what? I think we're about 15 minutes in. At this point in the Odyssey, what has happened? Just some opening. We're just finding out who the people are. I don't know necessarily we've even gotten to what's the deal with Odysseus. Like that we're still painting a web. This is cool, though. There's bombs falling from the sky. Hey, this level is cool. Look at these. Giant bombs are dropping from the sky, and they are blowing stuff up. I could see, indicator-wise, where they're going to be. There's indicators. Some of them. Have there been indicators this whole time? I feel like a lot of them have come out of nowhere, but also... No, there's clear indicator there. Bomb fell there. No indicator there. Indicator here, very clear, very clear. Another indicator right there, so I will wait. No indicator on the red on that sumbitch. You never know when a meteor is going to strike. Oh, it does say the title is Meteor Showers, Dangerous Skies. I thought they were bombs. They kind of... Well, I guess... I was thinking they were bombs because there's a little fire on top as well as the spike body, but there's just a bomb under there, so that would just be... If you wanted it to just be bombs, it could just be bombs. Unless that's not how it works, and they need to have the spike in order for the guy to die. Yeah, I think maybe the spike is required to actually trigger the explosion. The spike is actually when it hits the when it hits a brick and slows down, or otherwise breaks. That's when the explosion goes off. Neat trick, neat tech. So yeah, to summarize, the way that this works is that there's a bomb behind the spike. When the spike gets slightly delayed by hitting a brick or a block, it hits the bomb and the bomb blows up. Does any block do? Looks like that one kind of explodes in the middle, dead center, which would be weird because it kind of explodes a little bit after the block, I guess. Okay, I'm not 100% sure how it works. There might be some other sort of trigger that triggers it. Or like maybe that ghost? No, it's not ghost related. No one touched ghost. What? Oh, no. I saw the indicator. Okay, I got it. So yeah, Odyssey, fucking great. Highly recommended. I wasn't really terribly hyped for it, you know. I felt like, you know, I felt like it was one of those things. You ever feel like you're just supposed to be hyped for something? You know, like you see a trailer and it's like everyone's excited and you're like, that looks okay. I don't know that, like, I'm, like, you know, I'm not like raring to go. I'm not like, I could be good, but like a lot of things could be good, so I don't know. I'm standing back. I kind of felt that way about the Odyssey until it was released, and now that it has been, I'm all about it. I really loved it. Definitely more than I thought that movie with the bomb. I thought Oppenheimer was all right. Didn't care for. I don't think I cared for Tenet, but also I don't remember if I actually saw it or if I actually completed it. I may have loaded it up and watched a bit and been like, what's going on? I saw like a clip of it because someone was like, oh, talking about Nolan and using Tenet as a good example of a movie, which kind of surprised me because I got the impression at the time like, oh, no one liked that, huh? Apparently it's really confusing. Anyway, maybe the lesson is I should try to watch Tenet. Should I try to watch Tenet? Was Tenet actually good? I don't know. But what I will say, okay, it has nothing to do with blocks because there's no blocks there. No blocks in that brick. Under those bricks. I don't know how it's activated, therefore. But it's still a cool thing. And I'm glad to have finally gotten through it after a long auto-scroll walk. Auto-scrollers are long. And they take time to go through. Oh, no. Cool. Hey, Hudson. How you doing? Let's do it. I'll say for other movies this month, I do think I'm going to see Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man looks pretty, I mean, I've seen all the previous Spider-Man, and I liked the previous Spider-Man. I feel like a lot of people love the previous Spider-Man, feel like I was a little bit more mid on like entries 3 and entry 3. You know, I wasn't as big a fan as of the one where it was the multiverse. That one was cool, but it wasn't like anything special, I would say. But like the first one's great. The second one was solid, and you know, hype aside, the third Spider-Man was fairly good. Was a good time, and had some lovely cameos, as Marvel movies tend to do. Cool. Great level 06i. Nicely sourced. I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely see that whenever it's out. Is that, like, next week? It might be, like, next week. There's not that much July left. But, yeah, that's the only other movie this month that I'm actually interested in, I think. Is there any other movies? You can tell me if there's any other movies. Let me hit complete, and we'll move on to the next level, which will be Rock Party's level. Rock Party, go ahead and confirm. You know what to do. It's your turn. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Speaking of Rock Party and what Rock Party was saying earlier, let me talk. Hey, I started Splatoon Raiders, which, as you may know, is a game that came out on Thursday, yesterday. Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central, midnight time. Thank you, Rock Party. I played some on stream on Wednesday night. Rock Party joined me for a bit. We did some co-op quickly, and that was a bit of fun. I gotta say, first and foremost, I feel like my biggest feeling out of Splatoon Raiders is that its campaign is a lot more... So it's primarily a co-op game. It's a single-player experience. It's a single-player campaign, no multiplayer versus, etc. But the primary experience intended for that single player is a co-op experience, and a lot of the level design is severely lessened compared to the other Splatoon games because it is primarily a co-op game with co-op gameplay. I think the co-op takes some of the strategy out of it. I think that's definitely true, yeah. The level design in the other Pikmin games was exquisite, was so good. At the best of previous Splatoon games, it felt like a hybrid between a shooter and Mario Galaxy, you know? Like, it had sort of a faux platformy sense to it, and like, basically, in order to accommodate multiple players running around, they've had to basically excise almost all the platforminess. Though there are like, maybe 5% of levels are platforming levels, it would seem. Or maybe less than that, even. I'll say, I've played a few more levels since the stream. I have not encountered another platforming level. I think we did like 10... 12 levels, and like 2 of them were sampler dungeons, which means that you get a certain item and you're supposed to use it. So it's like designed around the item rather than just being, oh, use whatever gun you want, use whatever special moves you want. It doesn't matter. The traversal's not that important to this. It's more about fighting enemies. So that's what I will say. Like, the new Splatoon is very much about fighting enemies. By the way, this is Hissus and Honey. Rock Party has been submitting this code for the last year plus, and we've been working on this level in particular, this maker code, you know. We've been working on this level in particular for like over the year so far, and a little more than that, so we don't have to talk that much about Hissus and Honey. We've all seen Hissus and Honey. We all know Hissus and Honey if you've watched the stream before. Enough said, enough said. Splatoon has been, I think it's definitely a lot less platformery. You know, the level design, especially in the earlier parts, is kind of flat. Just like these islands in this island archipelago chain, where they're just sort of coming out of the water a little bit. They're not different elevations oftentimes, and there's not really that much interesting traversal between them. There's like boilerplate traversal in between, but basically the goal is in all the traversal type levels, where it's almost a hybrid between the previous type of Splatoon levels and just pure action is like you traverse a little bit and then you fight a whole wave of dudes. You traverse a little bit more, then you fight another wave of dudes. But I will say, in the game's defense, as far as like what's good, they have done a great job as far as enemy design goes. Like, there's a lot of different enemies. They all have different patterns and weaknesses and such and so forth. And, you know, in so much as I feel like the game has been, the level design has been nerfed to accommodate co-op, I also feel like it's probably also nerfed to accommodate those enemy designs where, you know, you have to just get set in an arena and then they come at you, and some of them are trains that you need to get to the tail end of and hit. Some of them are, they got front armor, so you need to go around the back and hit them that way. Some of them have like wings on their left and right, so you have to hit them like head on in the very middle at their pivot. You know, there's a lot of interesting design in the enemy stuff, and I think the combat by and large hits especially once you get like 2 gadgets, which are equipable items that you can use on a cooldown every like 5 to 20 seconds. Like, yeah, the gadgets are really good. The more, I'll say, like, that I think Splatoon Raiders has a really fucking slow start, and I found it to be rather interminable that like first hour or so. But like once you get like multiple buttons to press, and by the way, that run was cooked anyway. We have to have the fire flower coming into this room, so, you know, regardless, it doesn't matter if we die or don't die. There. Have you powered up a tank yet? Yeah, I powered up a tank. A tank? I haven't gotten to where there was something about a second ability of a tank. I haven't gotten that yet, no. What's the deal with that? I do like all the customization and all the gadgets and stuff. Like, the more gadgets I get and the more there is to mess around with there, I think the more fun the game is. More buttons to press makes the combat more interesting. And, you know, I do think those combat levels where you're on a timer and you basically have to kill as many enemies as you need to within that time, I think those levels are pretty tense, pretty fun, and pretty challenging. But I'll say again, part of me can't help but bemoan the loss of Splatoon as it was. You know what I mean? Like Splatoon, the game where you, like, platformed around and the bosses were more puzzle bosses, you know. They were like a Zelda boss where the trick was, okay, you gotta figure out how you gotta ink them and then how you gotta climb them, and then you can kill them in a puzzly way. Whereas the one boss that I got to so far in Splatoon Raiders is just like, yeah, you hit them over and over again, and then they're invulnerable, so you have to kill a bunch of mobs for a while, and then you hit them some more, rinse, repeat, and it's like, okay, this used to be one of the best things about the franchise, the campaign. Like, if there's one criticism I'll make of Splatoon Raiders, it's that the campaign is like the most mid Splatoon campaign they've ever done, and it is entirely by mass campaign. That said, it is worth noting and appreciating that, like, this game can be played co-op, and I literally think that you should play it co-op. And in fact, if I have one thing to say, advisement-wise, like, literally, low-key, high-key, etc., if you are not going to play Splatoon Raiders co-op, you probably should not get Splatoon Raiders. It is probably not the game for you. It might be frustrating at times when it gets harder, and it clearly is being like, hey, use co-op, but also when it gets harder, you know, there is an option to, like, call for help, but you can only do that, like, once every 30 minutes. So, like, even as you get into it and you realize, like, oh, this game is designed around co-op, so I guess I'll just play the co-op all the time, using call for help. Nope. You cannot do that. It forces you to do a single player or to find a friend to play with. And, you should find a friend to play with. We should do some Splatoon this weekend. Anyone who wants to, you know, hit me up in the Discord. You know, Rock Party is in. See if other Discords I'm in are interested in doing that sort of thing. You know, there are like 4 slots, so like we could have 2 more people rock Party. We're probably not the only ones who bought Splatoon out there in various discords that we're in. Are you still in? I don't know if you're in the Reichert's Market anymore, but you know, that community doesn't really do multiplayer stuff anymore, but maybe for this they would. Or maybe like we could do it somewhere where we all are already. You know, maybe Trebucket would get it. Trebucket, actually, I'll say Trebucket was here in chat on Tuesday, being like, I don't know if I want Splatoon Raiders, and I feel like now having played it, I'm like, I think you might have the right idea, Trebucket. I think your indecision is justifiable, and you know, between the games that you were considering, Rhythm Heaven, Splatoon Raiders, and Star Fox, I would probably say Dench Attack is the one you should get. I would say Dench Attack is the one that you should get right now, yes. I think that should be your choice, between those 3. Though if you're like a big rhythm person with a lot of sense of rhythm, and Rhythm Heaven is probably like the best of them outright, though, you know, your taste may vary and your like willingness to learn the timings may vary. I've not played that much more Rhythm Heaven, and I did do like a round before the stream, but then I failed it, and I was like, okay, well, just fine. The robot's timing. Turns out, the thing about Rhythm Heaven is that you need to pay attention, so it's hard to... I'd like to multitask a lot. I like to play a game and also be watching a video, and you really cannot do that with Rhythm Heaven, so... Yeah, well, so the reason I failed is I was watching something. To be clear, to be fair, I was not giving it full attention, and that probably was the reason why. Also, it's hard. It's a hard game. Charming as hell, though. I would say that Rhythm Heaven is more charming than Splatoon. I would say that I recommend it more than Splatoon, I guess. But Splatoon, I'll say, if you do have a co-op group, if you are able to put together co-op sessions, it's probably pretty good. It's probably, like, a lot better. And I'll say, like, the parts of Splatoon, even the nerfed levels, where it's like, oh, this isn't as platformer-y as previously, you know? Previously, it was, like, 50% platformer. Now it's, like, 10, 15%. Not, you know, not that platformy. Just like little transition zones in between arena fights. Even that, like, going through it while having Rock Party following me at like, you know, a couple feet back was kind of cool. And, you know, makes me wonder why there aren't so many co-op 3D platformers. You know, like, that, I guess, is just very difficult to design around. Just having a co-op, being co-op buddyable. I guess I will say that I did remember since the last stream that It Takes Two exists, and that is exclusively a co-op platformer, 3D platformer, but, you know, I kind of mean just like a mascot platformer that also has co-op, you know, like a Mario game or an Astrobot or, you know, that sort of thing. We're getting to this room a bunch this stream, but not with a fire flower, which is what we need. So I think we are like getting the hang of doing that room as fast as we need to, but we also need to do it cleanly. So, Anyway, I'm continuing on playing it. Definitely, you know, we should definitely do some co-op sessions. And we should do some co-op sessions where we try using, you know, Discord and get a voice call and all that, regular style. During the stream, I tried to use the voice chat through the Switch. Oh my god, you know, they said, oh, this uses algorithms to sound just as good, whether you're close or far from the things. Turns out there's no magic inside a Switch 2. A cheap microphone with AI algorithms does not make a clear voice. It sounded like Rock Party was in a sewer when he was coming through the thing. You went to the pool and came back with a piece missing? Dang. Probably like leeches. In the shape of a water droplet? Well, it wasn't Poseidon that did it. I'll tell you that. That doesn't fit Poseidon's MO. I don't think that's how... Is Poseidon the god of pool water in addition to being the god of ocean? Is he god of the ocean or all water? There's probably a separate god of like, estuaries and, fresh water and things of that nature. I assume that the Greeks knew about freshwater and estuaries and things of that nature. Their home was like a bunch of craggy rocks and stuff, right? So, I'm not picturing fields. It's all like cliffs and stuff, right? I don't know. They probably do have fields. They have goats. And also the Romans famously, you know, they adopted Poseidon into Neptune. And then, surely then, they knew about, the Romans knew about lakes. They knew about rivers. They lived on one, after all. Rivers are very, important. But what about pools? Did the ancient Greeks knew about pools? Yes, I think so. Didn't they have, like, reflecting pools and things like the White House do? Like, the reflecting pool was, like, made in, like, the Roman tradition, right? Of, like, funny public arts things that, are cool and good. We wouldn't have made it to the thing anyway. That run. Time up. 5 tries. Here we go. So anyway, I'm a little bit conflicted on Splatoon. I think that it has had to make incredible, enormous sacrifices to accommodate the online co-op. The level design, the boss design, the variety of level, it is all severely nerfed compared to previous Splatoon games. But at the same time, the action is great. The gadgets are fun to play with. There is something good there, if different from the previous Splatoon games. It's kind of sad in some ways, but also, they did say it's a spin-off. Expecting it to be exactly the same game, that never would have been the thing. That never should have been the expectation, so, you know, there's my opinion. Thank you, Rock Party. We did not do it. I'm hitting dismiss. Let's keep on trucking. Surprisingly, the lightning round will be starting very soon. After like another level or two, assuming that they run to the time. They run to time. Again, we're looking for a shorter stream today. So let's go and pull the third card then. By the way, I'm also looking forward to, speaking of new stuff, this is sort of the big media announcement of the week. The new Avatar stuff soonish. I believe that movie is about to come out. The movie of like Aang. Let me see, when is Aang movie coming out? When is Aang movie coming out? July 25th. Hey, that's tomorrow! I'm looking forward to that. I did not watch the leak. I did not watch the leak that leaked like, half a year ago. And I've been interested in seeing that because I like Avatar and I like Korra. And, it's great to see more of that. I'll also say that, like, they also just announced that, like, the new show, Seven Heavens. What is Seven Heavens? Not what, when, whatever. When is Seven Havens coming out? It's like Havens, right? October, yeah, so it's like a couple months out. The third Avatar series, the one where it's about an earthbender from the Earth Country, but also it's post-apocalyptic now, and all that. I feel like people have been talking about all that for like years. You know, like the premise has been out there. They've talked about like, oh, it's going to be an earthbender with an evil twin, and part of that is because the nature of the Avatar was fucked up by whatever Korra did. They were saying something, all that stuff for like years now. So like, I saw a video that had the thumbnail of like, well, it's not what anyone expected, and I watched the trailer and it's like, oh, that's exactly what I expected based on what they said it was. It's exactly what they said it was. So unexpected, not quite, but still very exciting. Let's do it. This has a 2% clear rate, so I'm feeling like this one might be one that we finish. Might be one that we finish in a good reason. Time! Provided that doesn't happen again. Do you think that all of these are full of fishes and other dangers? No. There's goodies in the question blocks, and, well, not baddies everywhere. Something we did opened and closed some on-offs. Bad! Bad! This might be, I believe this might be somewhat of a troll level. By farting around, the on-off state has been changed a little bit. This level is longer than the Odyssey, you think? I do not think this level will be longer than the Odyssey, but let's find out. If this level is longer than the Odyssey, then it's your fault if we go over. I'll say, that's not good. I think this will be good. Oh, hey, here's a, you're not a pom-pom. Oh, but there is the pom-pom. There's the pom-pom. I can't kill her there. I can't kill her down there either. But at the very least, I have no opposition now, so once we kill her, I think we'll be home free. So yeah, I think we've done it. Unless there's some sort of, mean trick ahead. I can't get at her while there's, stuff in the way. Oh, fuck. I think you're soft-locked? Oh. You're right. I can't ground pound through these blocks. So I'm definitely soft-locked. Okay. Shit. False hope. False hope. We got it. This isn't so bad. I think we know where we need to go. I think we found out the right answers by sheer happenstance, dumb luck, etc. This level won't be longer than the Odyssey. The Odyssey's pretty long. I don't know, y'all know. I don't mind a little bit of backseating when it comes down to, like, telling me things that I didn't notice. You know, I tend to think that these streams can be a little bit cooperative. You know, if y'all want to, point things out, like, I have no problem with that. We're all seeing the levels for the first time. You meant your level is harder than the Odyssey. Oh, okay. We'll see. Didn't all the Super Mario Maker 2 servers shut down? No, you're thinking of Sony. You're thinking of, PlayStation servers, which, did apparently shut down today. I do not have a card for it, so no comments, no, I'll say nothing on that. I'll say nothing on that. I don't really care. I also don't care really about Microsoft's new thing where they said they're going to let people watch an ad to stream a game that they already own for like an hour. That's a ridiculous thing to say, especially considering how shit the game streaming service that they have is. You're only limited to an hour, and you have to watch an ad, and you're doing it on games you already own? Wow, that's the least appealing thing I've ever heard. As far as, like, it's fucking terrible deal. Who would want that? I don't know. We got through the boss fight. Oh, great. There's a pick-a-pipe. Top pipe. Is top pipe good? Well, first I have to get... Yes, top pipe is very good. Top pipe is the answer. We did it. Good job. GG. Ah! Alright. Anyway, all that Avatar stuff is exciting. Expect me to have something to say about the new movie next week, and expect me to have something to say about the show in like October, I guess. It'll be cool to see a new Avatar series. I hope they go the whole circle. I hope they eventually do a fourth one, and then they can stop. They can stop at 4. We don't need a second Airbender, I guess. I don't know. You think they'll do another Airbender? I feel like they'd be more likely to do like a prequel or something, rather than carrying on like into the future. I don't know. Maybe the future will be like reset timeline or something, or like, oh, you know, now the avatars are something again. The world unindustrialized, so... Or did it unindustrialize, or is it like dome cities? I'm not sure. It's fine, whichever way it is. I'm excited to find out. Seven Havens. Let me hit complete, and I'll get the next one up. And we have plenty of time for X-Cube's level. X-Cube just said GG, excellent. Want to do one more card before the lightning round? Sure, why not? Hey, here's an interesting story from this week. On a more negative note, did y'all hear about the LG Smart TV/monitor controversy? Spyware, ads, and more bullshit. Yes, there's been a bunch of reporting the last week or so, basically saying, like, horrific things about the LG monitors. Basically, a couple things. One, they suddenly got an update recently that adds ads to them just automatically inserted into your watching stuff. Just, hey, suddenly the monitor you paid thousands of dollars for just starts playing ads at you. You know, the monitor, the TV, etc. The second thing, apparently, has been the case for a while. Apparently, these TVs have been recording and reporting home what you're saying, to the point where they recently just pushed a patch, an update to the EULA, which basically says, and I am not kidding here, it basically says, hey, listen, if anyone comes over to your house, it is your job to tell them that their whatever they say within earshot of the TV will be monitored, and, you know, so we're not in violation of any wiretapping laws, which... Okay, so you want us to, as soon as someone comes over and says, like, oh, by the way, LG is listening, so please sign here so that you acknowledge that LG is listening. What do I get out of this? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I paid a regular price for a regular TV or a regular monitor. Yeah, coincidentally, after I read this story, I looked closely at my remote and went, oh, god damn it. Well, fortunately, also my preview monitor is also LG. Fortunately, I do not connect this to the internet. I did not let it get updates. I did not let it get, you know... It does not connect to shit. It just connects to my computer through HDMI, and the other thing that's, you know, the monitor is connected through, like, the other, not HDMI, the other one. So I think I'm safe, but what the fuck? What the fuck has it come to that, like, our monitor companies have to be like, oh, you have to tell your friends if they show up at your house. They are being recorded, and they should act accordingly, and so long as you disclose that, we are not in violation, and neither are you. That is a ridiculous thing to say, LG. That is a ridiculous thing to say, LG. What the fuck? I don't know what the hell they're thinking over there, and also I don't know what to do about that information. Don't buy LG, I guess, in the future is lesson 1, and lesson 2 is do not connect your smart TVs to the internet. Fucking buy a Roku, for God's sake. Use your Switch. Use your PC. Personally, I watch all my stuff through my PC. I go to the websites and I watch it and I full screen it. I use a mouse and everything, or a Steam controller, whichever one. You know, they all work on the couch. It's fine. You can do it that way. You don't have to use your TV to watch TV. And you don't have to give it up to LG. All your personal information and recording. Disconnect that shit. If you got that shit connected, disconnect it. Would be the thing to take away, I think. Yeah, fortunately I don't connect my stuff, so I think I'm safe and I'm going to continue. Also, my TV is somewhat old. I think it's like the last round of OLED televisions before they stopped doing OLEDs. So it's like maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. Starting to get some burn in. I'll say, considering I use it for my computer, it's got a burnt-in Windows logo in the bottom, you know, where the start menu goes. And that is very annoying. I wish I could fix that, but I'm not like $1,000 wanting to fix that. You know, I'm not gonna buy another one, in other words. It's fine, and I'll live with it. You put a piece of paper on that red dot thing because you got paranoid? That might have been a good decision. Though, from what I hear, it's mostly voice recording. It's not... Actually, I don't know if they're also watching. I think they're mostly just listening, so... Oh. Let me get this guy, and there we go. I think they're mostly listening. LG monitors and LG TVs. Mine might be too old, and also not connected to the internet, so it's fine. But, you know, last few years. There's an especially egregious one. By the way, shout out to Gamers Nexus, who did a lot of this reporting, and, you know, showed off the bullshit. You know, also just... You know, apparently in addition, it like installs McAfee now. They did a patch where it just installs McAfee on you if you connect it to your computer somehow. And they were showing like how they bought like a $1,500 monitor and like, yeah, it just immediately installs McAfee on them. It's really egregious. It's really just like, what in the good goddamn are you thinking? You're talking about a monitor that's thousands of dollars and it's what? $1,000 monitor doesn't come with, you know, being free of spyware. $1,000 monitor, and you have to put up with the fact that it's going to try to sell McAfee on you, which is a fate worse than death. No one should be sold McAfee to. That's a terrible thing to be sold McAfee. Their whole, if you don't know. And I think everyone knows. It's like, well, it's quite common knowledge. McAfee is basically a big scam at this point, is it not? Like, they're basically selling things that have fixed themselves by and large, are included with Windows by and large for free now. Hey, this is the first level I've made. I'm wondering if for some feedback. Sure. When it comes up, I will give it. Remind me that you want. Remind me of that. Well, I'll say I always say things like, oh, the level was good, I had fun. But, for more precise feedback, remind me when it comes up and I'll do the thing. It is about 7:15, so I do believe after this level, the lightning round will begin. Again, we are looking to have a slightly shorter stream. We're looking for a stream today that is shorter than Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. So, right now, we are somewhere in the middle of our voyage. Hey, Chewbacca, how's it going? We're somewhat in the middle of our voyage. I think now we've reached the point where we've met Odysseus. We know what's up, and we're getting ready to start, you know, things should start moving by this point, and that means the lightning round will be just around the corner then. which should be exciting and fun. We all like the lightning round. It is a good time. It does mean that the queue will start moving a lot faster. And oh wow, we have 13 levels in there. That's more than the amount of cards that I have prepared for tonight, I will say. So like, you know, we will quickly run out of things to discuss per se. Where's the pipe I need to enter? That pipe ain't it. Do I need to run back with this POW? Maybe I need to run back with this POW. You finally did that one upside down part of Deltarune Chapter 4 perfectly. Trying to remember Chapter 4 upside down. That doesn't upside down part. It's been a minute since I did since I played Chapter 4, so I'm sure that I mean, I love Deltarune, so I'm sure it's a fantastic bit. But yeah. It is 7:15 on the dot. Should lightning round? I think so. It was a save point thing. Gotcha. I don't recall that. It's been a minute. Probably an optional thing. You mean, like from a save point, go and get an optional thing, and then come back. It's been a while. I remember climbing a lot of stuff in Chapter 4 of Deltarune, but not necessarily any upside down malarkey. Thank you. I'm hitting complete, and I'm pulling up the next level, which is Neko Melon. Neko Melon is here. Fantastic. Good. Folks, in the interest of getting getting through this stream faster than the runtime of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, we are starting the lightning round now, more early than usual. Well, bam! The lightning round has started. Brand new day will be awesome. What's that? Brand new day. Is that, Anyway, tell me what that is. I do want to know what you're talking about, Evan, Michael. Kind of rings a bell. Oh, the movie, the Spider-Man. Gotcha, right. Okay. That's what the new Spider-Man is called. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I mentioned that earlier. I just called it the new Spider-Man, though, because I forgot what it was called and didn't care to remember. Anyway, they're all named like that, including... Wait, it was like Home. Wasn't Home the theme? Not Day. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's like Homecoming, Far From a Home, Going Away From Home for a bit, Another Reality Home. I forget what all of them are called. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the lightning round. Let me explain the lightning round real fast for those who are new or otherwise need a reminder. The lightning round, from here on out, we will have 5 to 12 tries to beat each level that comes our way, and different amounts of lives in different conditions. By default, we will only have 5. For levels with clear rate of 4% or lower, or super worlds, we will have 7, represented by 2 additional heads, which come in a variety of forms, which I will now randomize. We got Kitty and Dixie. Wow, that's great. Kitty was just added as a statue to Donkey Kong Bonanza, so that is a fitting random outcome. Relatively fitting, reasonably topical. And for levels that are 0.4%, or the first one of the night, or super worlds where we've already failed with 7 tries already, we will have 12 tries represented by 5 additional helmets on top of the original 5 heads. That is how this is going to go. Since Neko is here, Neko will get the full 12 as the first person of the night. The helmets are awarded to the first person of the night in the lightning round. Let's go, let's go. This level has been cleared by almost everyone who plays this, so this will be entirely unnecessary. Tom and Jerry. I think I'm playing as Jerry. Is Jerry, whatchamacallit, Rick and Morty now more popular than Jerry, Yeah, okay, I'm the cat and I'm killing, I'm the cat and I'm killing, the rat by, brushing him. Ooh, you rascally little bastard. Damn it. You remember when Tom did this pose? He looked all forlorn because he couldn't kill the rat, ever. If he ever did, he'd be out of the show because, you know, there'd be no more worlds left to conquer. You know, it'd be like a Greek tragedy of some kind. Imagine a Greek tragedy. Very topical sort of tragedy. As tragedies go, it's a rather topical sort. There we go. We killed Tom. Or Jerry. Been a while since I watched the cartoons as well. I was a young lad. It was on Cartoon Network, I'm sure. Streaming hadn't been invented yet. It was a long time ago. That was an easy one. This is the most killable Jerry we've ever seen. There's ever been. Bam! You're dead! Tribuckus said, hey, you killed Jerry. I sort of pictured that in Rick's voice for some reason. Hey, you killed Jerry. You're not supposed to do. Okay. That might be a hard voice to do. I don't know. I probably can't do a Rick voice. And also probably the Rick voice. Has that changed at all since it got recast? Because Roiland was like a dickhead or something. He was super canceled. A sex pest. Was he in the Epstein files? I think he had like an Epstein level offense. He was like a pedophile or some shit. Was Royston was not Royston. That's the fish from Banjo-Tooie. Was Roiland a pedophile? Was that it? Did he touch young women? I think he probably did, right? That's like what it was. Not a good dude. He was a pedophile. Yeah, I think that's correct. He fucked up. Shouldn't do that. Thank you, Neko. And the part got recast, so you can just, if you ever do the voice, just you're probably doing an impression of the new voice. I wonder if they'd ever, like, go back and replace all the old voices. Would that ever be worth it? Or would that ever be like, it's just weird. Just don't worry about it. He also, like, wrote a lot of that, so, it's all probably not, it's all probably a little bit tainted. He was caught grooming an underage girl. Fucked up. That's not cool. Suffice to say. Obviously. What else can be said? X! Just said GG. X43. Excellent. Here's another card. I'm still playing all the other relatively new games, though. Finding times for them has been tricky. So yeah, I've been playing still, Rhythm Heaven, Dunch Attack, and, was there a third recent game? I think just Rhythm Heaven and Dunch Attack. Been playing a little bit of them here and there, though, honestly, not too much. Been meaning to play more of both of them. They continue to be great games, I think, but yeah. Splatoon is easy to play as second to monitor. It's easier than those two are, I would say, yeah. I think Dunch Attack is so involving, you really have to like dial in and be like pretty focused on doing all the tricks and the good timing, and especially as it keeps on layering new mechanics. It's fucking really cool. By the way, Tribucket, I was saying earlier, you were asking the other day whether you should play Rhythm Heaven Groove, Splatoon, or Star Fox. I think my recommendation, now that I've played Splatoon, is Dunch Attack. My recommendation is Dunch Attack, the lovely, Tony Hawk on Rails train game where you jump around and do flip tricks as a train. And it's sort of like if Pokemon Snap was an action game, would be how I would describe it. If Pokemon Snap and Tony Hawk combined into an unholy cool-ass abomination. And Rhythm Heaven Groove is pretty good, so if you just want actually to pick of the games that you mentioned the other day, yeah, I'd probably recommend Rhythm Heaven over Splatoon. Splatoon, you really should be doing some co-op if you're going to get it. I think the co-op is the thing. Go ahead, troll levels are fun. I like troll levels. Look at this, it's a chase against, this is not a troll level, this is a nice level where we're running and some, bullet bills are destroying the stage behind us. Now, this is an auto-scroller, but, so, like, you know, in effect, if we do fall behind, we would die anyway because we would get crushed by walls. But, it adds a little extra more tension, which I think is nice, the way that was. That was really lovely. One of the best auto-scrollers I've seen in a minute. And now it continues. Yeah, I like this a bunch. A nice thing about it is that I've not been able to get far enough where I'm completely outpacing it. You know, where I have to wait for the screen to move. That's what I like, and it's ideal in an auto-scroller for me. For it to be well-paced enough where you can pretty much be always moving at full screen and not have an opportunity to put the controller down. I don't know why auto-scrollers aren't built in such a way where, you know, if you go too slow, that's, you're dead. But, you know what they should do? They should make it so if you go faster, they can speed up. And they can, like, push the screen forward faster or some shit. I would like that more, if that's how it works. Like, an enforced minimum, not an enforced maximum. It's good. I like it. Good shit. First try, by the way. Yes. Thank you. I'm hitting complete. And then, yeah, let's go to the next one. It's Countess Timpani. Imagine the tension if you were Mario in the level. I was Mario, and I was in the level. Oh, you mean if I was, like, in the position? If I was Mario, I wouldn't quite know what was going on, because I don't have an omniscient, camera. Well, maybe I do. Maybe this is the view that Mario sees the world from. Did Mario know those bonsai bills were coming? He never saw them. They were busting through walls out of his sight. I think Mario can see with his third eye. He can see with the Lakitu camera, wherever it might be. So, yes, I'm sure he was quite scared. I think that would be scary for Mario. At any rate, you'd hear a bunch of bump, 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 bumps, steadily getting closer and closer, and you wouldn't know what that was until you died and went to hell and then came back and said, okay, I remember what happened, so that's not gonna happen again. Because that death, I was there and I remember it. That actually happened, and now it needs to not. Countess Timpani, just anything we haven't done before? In that case, let's do what we did last time and just scroll all the way down and pick something, the nearest we've, stepping on beat. Oh, that's very similar to the one that we, what about Flickering Maze Dash? Cool. Timpani, are you here, by the way? Please, confirm for me, and, we'll have, all the tries in the world, or 12 of the tries in the world. Timpani hasn't said anything for a minute. Okay, I'm just gonna do the thing where you, name shows up in chat, and now you know. Let's, put sudden death-wise on the thing. It is above the threshold for the helmets, by the way, so we would have 7 tries, so if you say something, we'll have 5 more. Let's do this. I only have so many cards. I got 10 cards for tonight total, so I'll say we don't have that many to talk through, so I can hold them a little bit, but again, the goal of tonight is to be shorter than the Odyssey, so it would be good if I paced myself a little bit. Woo! This is all right. It's definitely mean, and well, actually, the tight timer might be an actual problem here. I don't know. But, like, you can get the pattern down, and so long as you're not losing height, but in fact gaining height, on average. You might be good. But also, if you're not going fast enough, you might be bad. Okay, well, we died twice without a confirmation from Countess Timpani. That's it. How about, next card, real fast? 1 second, let me grab something for my next card. I just realized I didn't. Okay, just throwing to a break to cut out the bit of me running off the VOD and all that. I'm gonna give Countess Timpani a minute longer to confirm. Meanwhile, we'll do the card. I'll say it's the Japanese viewer next, so Japanese viewer, if you could confirm. Let me put that into chat so for the Japanese viewer to see. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's just dismiss and go to the Japanese viewer, because I feel like it's going to be hard to communicate to them that they have to confirm anyhow, so let's have the message just take care of it. I'm gonna hit dismiss. Thank you, Countess Timpani. Feel free to get back in there, and we'll have more shots at more levels in the future. Japanese viewer-san, you are up. Go ahead and confirm. There's the thing. I wonder if the @ message works. It's probably only translated for me, so it's probably still adding them with their untranslated name. Switch to Super Luigi, Super Lewis YouTube is what YouTube chose to translate that as, so fun. Card. Still playing a bunch of retro games on my AYN Thor. So yeah, still been playing a bunch of other random games, like Banjo-Tooie and some other crap on my AYN Thor. It's been lovely recently. There hasn't been, you know, there has been a bunch of games coming out recently, but they've not been like second screen experiences so much, you know, but they've not been the kind of games where I'm like able to just like boot them up and be like, whatever, I'm watching a YouTube, maybe even a subtitled anime. I'm pretty good at multitasking. I can play some, like, you know, some games can be played while also reading subtitles and stuff every couple seconds. And I've been playing a handful of them. Like, I just restarted the Messenger. And also, I got a mod for Ocarina of Time 3D that makes it so that the right stick is used for camera. So I started playing that. And I just finished the Forest Dungeon, the Forest Temple. So that's pretty cool. Played a little bit of Cadence of Hyrule. Played about half of Super Kiwi 64, which is just lovely good. Super Kiwi 64 is like really just like a bite-sized 3D platformer. All the levels are like 5 minutes long, and it's just kind of fun to run around them and collect all the stuff in 5 minutes and be like, okay, that's a level. Huh. It's like Mumbo's Mountain, but even more streamlined. It's kind of ridiculous. Odyssey, I finished that over the weekend. I finished it. I finished Darker Side, at which point I was like, okay, gonna do some other ones for now, some other platformers, some other games, etc. And yeah, that's been nice. That's been good. It's really nice having a retro handheld to complement the you know, Switch and all that. You know, a smaller form factor with the recessed sticks and 2 screens. I will also say, by the way, if you didn't see the stream on Tuesday, there's a 2-screen mod for Link to the Past, and I played through the entirety of Link to the Past with 2 screens on Tuesday, and that was a lot of fun. Now, you know, the first time I played Link to the Past, I feel like I was kind of frustrated. I kind of struggled with a lot of parts of it, and didn't get fairies and nets and all that as early as I should have done. And this time I did do all that, and I had a much better time. It was much more pleasant, doable, difficulty-wise, just about right. And I can see what people mean when they say it's like their favorite game of all time. You know, I think definitely the rough edges for me are definitely an issue. And, like, you know, I personally wouldn't put it on that level. But I will say it's pretty damn good. And I definitely should do some more... I should do some Link to the Past randomizer, some more of that at some point. That would be fun to do another run of eventually. You play Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie on your 64, some of the best games. Yeah, I love those. Banjo-Kazooie was like my first 3D game, so it's near and dear to my heart. And one of the games I've played just countless times. And Tooie as well. Again, really close to my heart. Personal. Means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite games of all time as well. Honestly, I think I put Tooie above Kazooie most days. Yeah, let's do this. I really enjoy Odyssey as well. Odyssey is fantastic. I really enjoyed the playing through it again. It was neat playing both Odyssey and the Banjos at the same time. You know, I think there's a lot that you can learn from either game, from all the games, from either one of them. You finally finished Pizza Tower noise save file. I never did replay Pizza Tower, but with the noise, that would be or with the you know, they added the one that's like the one with the rat. Never did that. Maybe I should have done. Pizza Tower fucking rules. Fucking kicks ass. That'd be a good... Does that... You think that runs on an AYN Thor really good? I mean, you can... I'm sure there's like... there's, you know, ways of emulating Steam games using your actual Steam account. I could do that. Or I'm sure there's other ways if that's not, you know... Any console that Pizza Tower is on is a vector for putting it onto a thing. You could even play it on your Xbox and then use remote play, I guess, I suppose. That's probably the least way I've been I haven't done any remote play Xbox-wise for like a year or two, I think. I don't know that I've even done it on this AYN Thor. I think I only did that on the Retroid a little bit because I wanted to play Clair Obscura at the time and never did. Turns out Clair Obscura isn't a good fit for the Ein Thor anyway. It's kind of too small. The Ein Thor is. So yeah, still playing a bunch of stuff. Having a lot of fun there. I was playing Deltarune. Nice, Deltarune rules. How often are you playing Deltarune? Are you replaying Deltarune? It's a pretty short game. You can get through it in like a couple hours each chapter. But then again, I will say I haven't done any of the secret bosses, so yeah. Your favorite game to do is DK64? I just finished 101% DK64 on the channel. I have a much more positive opinion than I have had in years since, you know, being a teenager and all, but I really loved that back in the day, and now I have a healthy appreciation for it. I will say it's not, my feeling on it is not as strong as other 3D platformers of the era, but it is still pretty strong, I would say. Wait, I forgot to hit Lost and so forth. 1 second. Dismiss. Thank you, Japanese viewer. Hudson Duran. Hudson, you're up next. Go ahead and confirm. Your blind playthrough. You're in the first sanctuary right now. Gotcha. Have fun. Deltarune fucking rules. It's a hell of a game. Hey, Hudson. Perfect. Hard. Still. Follow up on what I meant. What I said about not wanting other retro handhelds. Yeah, so I came out of the last stream where I played through all of you know, Link to the Past on the AYN Thor, and I had a very nice new cam setup, by the way. I have a very nice new, like, desk cam setup where I can record, I can put the camera right here, and it gets a really good high-resolution shot of the handheld in question, so I now have a really ideal camera for doing things such as streaming retro handhelds and things of that nature. But I'll say what I said then, which is that, like, yeah, no, thing about, like, yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, it's not sudden death. That's correct. The thing about other handhelds is that I don't really need them, you know? And personally, I'd rather just have one retro handheld for the simplicity of it. And I'll say again, the one retro handheld I think is best to have is an Ein Thor, because you get the two-screen experience. It handles DS and 3DS like nothing else can. And increasingly, since this thing has been so popular, it is getting support as far as like the front ends go, and other two-screen software is starting to come out, and that's rad. And two-screen mods and things of that nature, and like that, I feel like is something you just can't get with any other retro handheld. And also, it's just about as powerful as you need it to be. Mind you, I do think that for like PC and Switch and arguably some other platforms, some slightly better spec'd ones might be technically a bit better in theory, but a lot of that is in theory because it hasn't really gotten there yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really, the technology has not, the emulators are not good enough to really push the devices past what an Ein Thor can do. So, you know, certainly when there's an Ein Thor 2 or a 3, and the emulators are like, you know, if we find out like, oh, 360 emulation doesn't really work here, oh, you're going to need an Ein 3 to do PS4. Like, let's start assuming that it's going to get to PS4 eventually on Android. You know, I think it's safe to assume that we will get this PS4 emulation eventually within the next 20 years. You know, I think then I would need something, but honestly, I'm kind of happy with just this. I will say this is an expensive thing, so like I do have to be a little careful with it. I can't just, you know, fling it around willy-nilly. And like, you know, the one time I tried bringing it to a theme park, you know, I brought it on a Universal day for me. When I went on, you know, Sawmill, what the hell is it called? Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. When I went on that, and it had to come with me, I was very much like clenching and just going like, okay, no water can get on my bag on this water ride. I gotta be like ungodly careful here. Or maybe what I did was I said, okay, well, I can't go on that ride, and then I came on it the next day when I didn't have it. I'll say, you know, that is a limitation of it. You can't just bring it on Ripsaw Falls without thinking about it, but at the same time, honestly, when I'm at a theme park, I kind of like to be in the moment, and I don't want to be doing my retro handheld in line, believe it or not. Like, that's not something I'm terribly interested in, so a smaller, cheaper handheld doesn't actually serve that much of a function to me. Also, it's a bunch, you know, a thing about that is like, okay, well, if you're playing the same game on multiple handhelds, what about your save data? When I switched from the Retroid Pocket Flip 2, which I bought first before the Ein Thor was a thing, when I switched from that to the Ein Thor, I lost a bunch of save data, and even that aside, like, if you switch from one handheld to the other, and like, even on a temporary basis, how are you getting your save data? Are you constantly, like, you know, syncing them up or something? I don't understand how that is viable, would work, would be fun. Sounds like just a headache to me, personally, and, yeah. I mean, I'll say as far as, like, retro handheld creators, content creation, like, having a whole stable of handhelds is important for the purposes of having opinions on them and doing videos on them, but for my opinion, I think that this is the one to get. This is the one that I got, and this is the one that I think the only one I think I need. I wouldn't say no to a, you know, slightly more higher. If there's like a slightly more higher end option, that would be like a Steam Deck, you know? I wouldn't say no to a Steam Deck, honestly. I kind of like one, honestly. And a Steam machine if I had money. No, I don't have watch time. I think that was broken anyway. I think that hasn't worked for... Does that still work? I thought I heard that the thing that used to do that stopped being able to do that. Maybe eventually it got it got working again. That chat command, watch time, which tells people in Twitch how long they've watched me, which I appreciate. It also tells me how long they've been watching me, which is a nice thing to, if it's very high, you know. This is cool. We're going upwards. We're having a good time. This sun cannot hit us. This sun is fated to always be... Unless we go over the corners where we're not, the sun cannot hit us. Even if we fall into the lava, the sun won't hit us. The sun cannot. Physically, it will run away from us as we approach the lava. Oh, we got a checkpoint, by the way, so we lost 1 life post-checkpoint. I'm not gonna count that one because I was adjusting my shit. When it's my level, click off so we don't spoil the Deltarune Chapter 5 secret boss. I've seen it, but yeah, no, I'll definitely should move fast then. That would be a good idea. So if we went over there, that would hit us, but I think even if we fell into the lava, it would not get a hit. Yeah, I fought the boss, I'll say. And generally, I feel with secret bosses, I always find out after the fact, like, oh, that's the secret boss, because everyone talks about them. I've seen, like, next to none of them, except for the last one and 3 for reasons. I saw the 3rd one. And also, technically, I suppose I saw the 4th one as well, though not in the context of a boss. You see, is that too specific? Anyway, you got hit with a TikTok spoiler bullet. That's rough, man. Anyway, I'm happy, and with just what I have. I do think the smaller ones are cool for what it's worth, but I cannot personally justify getting something just because it's cool and pretty cheap. You know, like, that's nice, but, like, it doesn't really serve a purpose other than if you want to bring it to the beach. Which, if you're at the beach, just make a sandcastle. Like, the beach is sandcastle time. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Do we really want to be playing, you know, also you gotta keep in mind, you can't play as much on those ones. Do you really want to be playing... Maybe you can't even play Cube of Horror on, like, a $50 one. Do you really want to be playing, like, What's a really good SNES game? Donkey Kong Country while at the beach? A little bit. That'd be fun. Interesting, at least. You can enjoy the ocean while you're at the beach. Read a book. You don't have to play Deltarune at the beach. I don't think. There's a time and a place. You know. I'm gonna try to go under. Yeah, I'll just kill him. Okay. Anyway, that's my other retro handheld's opinion. And yeah, DKC2 might be more summer-coded with the pirate theming. That's a good point. Yeah, play DKC2 at the beach. That's a better beach pick. Are you threatening me with a normal sleep schedule? Some people go to bed and just sleep? That's my understanding, yes. I suppose you could, are you saying, like, as opposed to scrolling in bed? I do tend to watch YouTube and stuff in bed, and I need to, just try to do 1 rather than 1,000. That would be, better for my mental health, too. We're approaching the 2-hour point of the stream, which, would mean maybe it's a good idea to... Let me see right now. Yeah, you know what? I think. Folks! I'm going to hit, complete. We did complete that, right? I'm going to hit complete. 06I is up next. It's not sudden death time. But what it is time is it's time for last call for levels. On account that we are trying to beat the Odyssey in runtime, I think now we're around the 2-hour point. Yes, we are about to close the queue. We're trying to do a short stream today, which means I should be, when I say a short stream, I mean shorter than famously very long movie, The Odyssey, which I'll say again, whips ass. So we're doing Last Call, and for the last few weeks, we've had a very peculiar theme for Last Call, which, let me, grab something, and then we will do. Yep. Okay. I grabbed something, and now I can hit this button here that will, get us where we need to go. There we go. Okay. How much you missed, Chard? This is going to be a shorter stream, Chard, so we're almost done. We're in Last Call, and I'm putting us into Last Call at this point because I'm trying to get us under the runtime of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. So, for the last few weeks, by the way, I've been playing through my older Super Mario Maker 1 levels, my older Super Mario Maker 1 Super World. So, and showing that off because, don't worry, well, we're not doing this because there's no online. It's not online we're doing. We're just doing the levels that I have that I can show off. During Last Call, I always show off my own levels, basically. And in particular, I've shown off all my Mario Maker 2 levels so many times that it's gotten a little old. It's gotten a little bit like, okay, well, you know, we've done it before so many times. So recently, I've been going through the 4-world Super World that I did back in the day, and this time, we're going through the third of the 4 worlds, Literary Pursuits, which is a library-themed level with no music. A library-themed world with no music, except there will be something of a soundtrack or sound effects in every level. But, so here was the gimmick of this world. It's a library, so it's quiet, see? Doesn't that make sense? In this case, you know, you have this part where you're just sort of doing some normal-ass platforming, and then there's a chase. And in the chase, like, there's like a, you know, a scary bit of a beat. They're playing a chase music at you a little bit. This is the closest I ever got to a music level, which I will admit is rather rudimentary. In retrospect, maybe I should have done like a chord of notes as you were running down these things rather than just like 2 seconds of notes, but okay, it had some bings and some bongs in there. It wasn't just and there's some drums as well. Okay, it's like ramping up a little bit. A little bit simple. I'll admit, I'm not, I don't know how to music, so that's, yeah, it's the closest I will get to such a thing. Yes, we're gonna play all 4 of these. This is, Nobel Rise, which, hey, I'll say, you remember back in Mario Maker 1, how it didn't have vertical levels? Yeah, so it didn't have vertical levels, so this is the best you could do for verticality in Mario Maker 1, which is just a bunch of little interconnected rooms where you can see out the sides because there's no such thing as scroll lock, and, you go from the bottom of a room to the top of the room, and you do that repeatedly, through pipes or doors, and, it was fairly awkward. This level has a lot of theming to it, with, like, you saw there, a little bit of a telescope and stuff. You're going up a tower, and it's very elaborate, and you're being chased, and there's no music because it's a library tower. Of course it's the library. Of course there's no music on account of library. I think in this case, you know, I said every one of these levels has a little bit of music added in. And I think in this case, the music added in was the star. Like, if you grab the star, music will play. And if you don't, it's just, you know, you're quiet in the library. There's another one. And also there's a little planetarium up there. A lot of theming in this super world. A lot of theming in my original Mario Maker 1 super world. It was very elaborate, level by level. Here's AV Gloom, which has computer monitors in it. See, look, that says Google. This is the Google logo. There's some websites and stuff. This will be websites circa, like, I don't know, 2012, 2013? No, it was like 2015, 16 or something. Maybe 17 at latest. So like 10 years ago. I wonder how, if anything's dated. There's like the Microsoft Windows background, famous background. Here's a part where you're walking with the chomps. This is not particularly computery, but okay. Oh, and then you get a on-off, and then, you know, you sort of run for it, I guess. Here we're in... I think this is just Mario. We're in just Mario. Not everything's anything. Not everything is something. That's YouTube. Look at that. That's YouTube. That's where we are right now. Wow. And this is... I don't know what that is. Reddit? I don't know what that was supposed to be. Generic website, I guess. Maybe Twitter. Maybe Twitter. Why would every line be a different color of Twitter? Different tweets? That doesn't make sense. It says GG. X. X didn't exist at the time. I don't know why I put X there. GG. X. GG. That doesn't make sense. That should be S, right? Like GG's. I don't understand that. This is a couch. Look at that. It's a couch. I don't know what that is supposed to be. I had it twice in there. What the hell? Some sort of sunset? Maybe that's a fan site or something that I was hanging out on at the time. Could be. A stoplight? No, that doesn't make sense. Here's like the most elaborate of the levels. This is Book Chase. It's still in the library world, but hey, here, there's a bunch of books being left up, and guess what? It's a page master. It's you go into the books, and here we are, in a pirate book. Yes. We're doing some pirate stuff because it's a pirate book. There's cannonballs. You're swinging on vines, on ropes, I suppose. And then you have to, you know, deal with guys on the outside as well, on the miggen mast, the jibbin, and all that. And then get some buried treasure. Wow, we went inside a book. Also, it's called Book Chase because there's ghosts that chase you in between one book and the next. Here's like a Goosebumps style book where it's like a tree full of spiders and shit. And there's like the pulsing. There's like, you know, the dump. Cool. That's the second book. More ghosts. More ghosts that chase you. And finally, the third book is like a, With Russia from Love type situation. It's a spy thriller where, it's in the mountains and stuff, I guess. And here's some sort of doomsday device that, where you ride, you go under a doomsday device, and then you ride your ride out of the mountain layer. There was a rocket for a second right there, and here's where James Bond makes love to his lady friend at the very, at the end. Also, guys coming in with parachutes. The parachuting. Shit, this is like in Mario Maker 1, before there were actual parachutes. I had I made pretend parachutes from rails. I forgot about that. That is honestly a good mechanic even today. That's last call. That's this bit. Put this gamepad down. Carefully, please. Switch back. All right, we needed about this volume. All right, perfect. Closing the queue. And, getting us out of last call. Let's go ahead and do it. There's 9 levels in the queue. Oh boy, that's a lot. If we want to finish this stream within the next hour to get it under the Odyssey. What happens if you try to add? When the queue is closed? The queue is closed, so you can't. It'll tell you you can't. A new viewer coming in, I would be like, typically I'm pretty allowing of, but right now, I do think we need to, I do want to hustle a little bit. Time is of essence here. I think we can do about an hour, and then about an hour from now, we will be in Nolan territory. Which I'll say, you know, we usually go a lot longer than that, but for once, I want to get under that mark. Perhaps we're gonna find out how hard it is to, you know, do such a thing. How hard it is to edit something down to 3 hours. You know, we all look at those movies and we go, oh wow, you went really long. And then every day, you know, we get up and we play a little bit of Mario Maker, and ooh, it takes 5 hours. It turns out. I can hit this on off, and then I can go the other way. And yeah, these are some nice bullet bill rides. Let's go. I will say, by the way, I think I have like 3-4 cards left, so we don't have that many more cards left. We will deal with them as I see fit. I'll be pulling them 1 per level, more or less. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll hold off. Here I could definitely die if I were to, like, you know, walk into the side of these bullet bills. But I'm not going to do that because I'm too talented. Oh, speaking of theming, these are like spaceships. That's like a space that had wings, you know, that thing. Oh, I don't do that. You know I don't do that. An airstrike of eraser rockets. No airstrikes. I will just, the chat bot will lightly admonish you. When I say lightly admonish, what I mean is, he'll say you can't do it. And that'll be that. Oh, God. Go away. Go away. Go away. Please. Please. Okay. How much longer do we have to survive? Fortunately, it's not that much longer because we lost our shit and we would have died if not for the ending being right here. Good shit! We made it. It became very hectic at the very end, which is very fortunate because it was very long up to that point. We wouldn't want to have to do it over. What's the VOD name? Hopefully, it's something to the extent of shorter than the Odyssey, for once. If not, it can be something that remarks on how hard it is to be shorter than the Odyssey, or something that's, like, unspecific, like, see people, I hardly know people. In reference, that's an Odyssey reference. Not a reference to the original The Odyssey, but to Nolan's The Odyssey. You'll see, when you see it. You'll understand. My see people, I hardly know people joke will, age tremendously well. Flying Yoshi is up next, I believe, right? Yes? Flying Yoshi was just in chat saying things, so that's nice. What does the next card say? Do y'all like the tangents? Do y'all mind the tangents? Ideally, you'd like them, but obviously, not everyone does. Now, this is definitely something I think about when I, put a slate of cards into the rotation, when I come up with the things to talk about. Flying Waluigi. Sorry, did I say Yoshi? Waluigi and Yoshi, two different characters. Whatever. Apologies. Reading is hard. I do sometimes worry, especially when anime time comes around and there's like 100 shows to discuss, or like 80 shows. It can be a bit heavy, it can be a bit much. And I try, on the VOD to make clear, like, okay, if you want to avoid that, it's all in the lightning round, it's all contained here. It's all there, it's all packed together efficiently, but, wait, I didn't look at the clear rate here. I gotta check the clear rates before we get in there. Oh, no one's cleared it yet, so we get the full everything. Full heads, full 9. Yeah. I have said someone's name wrong. That does happen. You can call me whatever you want. That is, certainly true. LSL. You can unabbreviate the DS in my name. Yes, that is a option. I'll say, I definitely do go on tangents. I definitely do talk about stuff, and I understand that, like, not everyone is into anime or is interested in necessarily, like, hearing about all the shows I've been watching, movies I've seen, etc. Maybe people are just interested in the viewer levels. Thing is, like, I do the viewer levels every week, so I feel like, to a certain degree, I can just, play the levels, and, if I was just talking about the levels, there'd be nothing else to say. There'd be nothing new to say every time. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Chard. Love that. Appreciate that a lot. Means a lot now, especially these days. I do worry about that stuff, and I definitely see people. There's definitely been see people. I've definitely seen people who are like, I'm not here for anime. I'm here for viewer levels. I'm out. And I understand that, and that's fair. But also, I also see other people who like that, and who have said, like, I the other day when we did the raid, after the raid into another Mario Maker 2 streamer's stream, what was it? I think Revival was there, and Revival, right? That's the dude's name. It's been I'm bad with names sometimes. Sorry if I got it wrong there. And they were like, and he was like, I really like how you have stuff to talk about every stream, and you make it a little bit more podcasty, and it was a nice vote of appreciation at a moment where I literally had a card planned where it was like, hey, is this cool? Do you like it? Chard says you like the way of streaming and ranting. Makes it stand out among crowd of streamers. Thank you. Very good. I'll say the obvious, not every stream is super tangenty. The viewer levels being every week and being routine are sort of a, sort of like the mainstream of the week. The soapbox where I get up and I talk my shit. Like most, it's like my appointed hour for having all the conversations I super want to have, versus like, maybe you're watching me play Donkey Kong Country, the DK Challenge, the one time I'll play the DK Challenge. I'm more focused then on, like, the task ahead of me, the thing I'm doing. When I do Sonic 06 next week, you won't hear me talk about diarrhea lettuce, or maybe I'll say something like, ooh, yesterday's, 100 girlfriends. Loved it, but I won't have cards, and I usually save that for, like, an end of week, here's everything. Thing is with that, even if you do think of it as podcasty, I'm aware that, like, not everyone is interested in everything that I'm interested in, and that's, that's, something to be aware of. that's something that, like, yeah. That was some sort of quiz there. Nice level. Nice level. Yeah, diarrhea lettuce has been sweeping the nation. It's huge right now. Really big. Really big. GG's, good shit. Loved it. Don't really see what that had to do with Deltarune. I guess it was like the cliff stuff maybe. I don't know. It's not really sure I caught the analogy there, or like what exactly, other than it has the secret thing in there. Hey, Oxer the First, did you miss one? You got hit by that black one? Oh, wow, dang. No, I think you're still coming up. I think you're still, you're pretty far down, Oxer, so don't worry about it. Let me hit complete Flying Waluigi, and go to the next one. It's Even Michaels, who just said, GG, go, first clear. Yeah, so, here's what I'll say about tangents, which is, I'll say, there's definitely podcasts that I have listened to, people who I like, streamers, etc., who talk about things that I don't care about. You know, I've never seen a wrestling match in my life, but when Dan Reichert talks about wrestling, I think it's kind of interesting to hear about it from the outside, and to just have, like, my entire experience of it based around, like, how he describes, like, what was fucked up, what was cool, how this happened, you know, where he was at the time, etc., etc. You go to the list if you just check the list instead of just check the queue. The position queue kind of seemed a little glitchy to me, so I just have it so you just check the list. You're towards the end, LSL. You're at the very end, so you're a ways. What was the clear rate? I have to check the clear rate. So while I understand that, like, not everyone's going to be interested in everything, I will say that I do think that, you know, you can enjoy hearing someone's passion secondhand and not quite getting it, but getting that, like, they seem pretty interested, like, trying to understand something without even seeing it and knowing, like, what the hell what they're even talking about looks like. I think that's a very quintessential podcast type experience, you know? Like, whether it comes to, like, wrestling, I've heard some podcasters that I listen to, like, just start talking about baseball a little bit, and it's like, okay, well, I super don't get that. Like, even a little bit. So, fun. I think I need to do a trick there to get around the, fish, or what the... Or not. Maybe this is the way. Is this the way? This seems slightly trollish, yes. I agree. Slightly trollish, indeed. I need to get, like, a power-up if I want to get through there, so I can survive the axe. We have, 5 tries left. Oh, there's 2 blocks. There's blocks blocking either way. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just saw some bullshit. Look at this. You go back into this room, then you can hit the on-off. That's a trick and a half. That's pretty good. But what do I do with the shell? The on-off needs to be the other way if I'm to continue here. Cool. There seems like there's a bunch of tricks in this level that, go beyond the usual troll level. This is like a puzzle troll. Not that troll levels aren't, by their nature, also fairly puzzly, but, you understand, like, it's, different from usual. I actually have to figure out, like, what the deal is. And where I'm supposed to go. Get that on, off. Go under here. What? Huh? Obviously not. Yeah, peas, I think upside down peas respawn. Specifically. Let's go, let's do it. Remember, we gotta hustle. The Odyssey is running right now. Pretend the Odyssey is running. Right now, ooh, we're getting to the home stretch, you know. We're getting to the point where, like, dude is, on his way home if he's not. Spoilers for the Odyssey. You know, we're getting to, like, the main event at the end, you know. The main event is about to start. The, main card. Oh, I see. I can bang into that, and then... Oh, no, that's not it at all. I have to throw that, reclaim that, throw that up into... What is this Odyssey thing? It's a Christopher Nolan's new movie. And, I'll say again, the goal of this stream is to have it be a runtime shorter than the Odyssey. Which, you would not think would be hard, considering 3 hours long. It's a fairly long movie. But, you know, it's still, it turns out it's still, it's challenging. Soft lock should be 2 deaths. You want your level to, you want, okay, well, you want this level to end earlier because it's not your level. It's not how it works. No. How do I reclaim that safely? Last try! We figured out a fair number of the tricks of this level, but we're still short in a couple meaningful ways, and probably still ages away from the ending. Let's see if we can do it this time, and yeah, we will see. Yes, that's right, the Odyssey recently got made into a movie, and it's 2 hours 50 minutes long, and I'm trying to okay, shit. Good tries, yeah. That's I'm just realizing, yeah, you can't stand on that thing if it gets hit. Really, you need the shell not to hit that, so you need to defend. You need to stop it before it goes through that whole passageway, so... Oh, I guess you have to drop the shell. You have to kill the guy by dropping the shell, such that it doesn't end up going, and also you don't lose it by bonking into the guy. And then you can finish the level. That's the key. That's what I was missing. Maybe I should have thought things through before I just tried to do them. Especially with 1 try left. But, also my turtle was about to become a turtle again. So, I had to think fast. I had to act fast. Thank you for the level. Maybe another time. Maybe another time. Yeah, sure. We'll have another crack. I'll say, you can always resubmit your levels. You can always submit them again. I can't always have another crack at them, albeit not tonight on account of the lightning round. The queue is closed and we are ending because we want this to be shorter than a really, really very long movie. Card! Got early plans for next month, including vacation. Yeah, I've been thinking about the plan for next month. I will say, like, the rest of this month is pretty straightforward. You know, we're starting Sonic 06 with Shadow, and then starting Sonic 06 with Shadow, and then in the middle of the week I'll be trying out that new game that's like sort of a Crazy Taxi, but with a clicker in it where Truck-kun is supporting me from another world. I think that's kind of a Crazy Taxi, kind of looks like, from what I've seen. A little bit like that. I'm looking forward to checking that out. But next month, I'll say, other than big vacation, my plans are going to be a little bit lighter, I think. I'm gonna do the Shadow, and then the week before vacation, I'm gonna prep for vacation, and then the week after, we'll do a viewer level stream where I tell you about the vacation as soon as I've prepped out, like, you know, slideshow of all the photos I want to show, all that. And otherwise, you know, do a randomizer. And Titanfall 2 will be the playthrough of next month after Shadow ends. And I'm hoping to do Shadow in 2. I will say, this month in particular was pretty heavy. Had a lot of heavy weeks in it, so I'm trying to do something a little lighter, trying to take the load off a little, give me some more time to, like, relax and catch up with other stuff in my life, and not do a stream every other day for a while. And also the vacation is in there. I will say, there's a good chance by the time of the last week of the month, I might have an idea and fill that last week up with a stream. Maybe there will be 1 3-stream week in there, or more. Maybe I could put something on a Sunday or something. But right now, I'm just thinking, you know, I'd like a little bit of a break, a little bit of a vacation, and a little bit of prep for the vacation, which, by the way, I have decided I'm just going to stick to a few parks. We'll talk about that in a bit. Mario, Lord Parkour. Oh, this is below the threshold for helmets, so hell yeah. Let's do it. Who was this again? Yeah, this was Artist. Did Artist confirm? Artist did confirm. Yes, okay, perfect. Let's go, let's do it. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah, plans are coming together. I picked Titanfall because I've kind of been playing a lot of, like, you know, Sonic obviously is a famous bad game, and DK64, it's not bad, but it is a lot. And, right, ignore the keys, ignore the coins. Coins bad. It is a lot, it is pretty heavy, and I wanted to find a game that was, like, the opposite in ways, you know, so it's a more serious, goddammit, it's a more serious, like, military-style game. Also, it's one of the best shooter campaigns there ever was, and all that together, I think it's gonna be a fun time. I think it's gonna be a good one. Titanfall 2. Also, you know, considering we've done DK64, Sonic, and all that recently, a more, like, serious, gritty, military-type game, space, adventure, whatever, I think it was a good contrast there, so that's why I chose it. I also want to do Twilight Princess for a bit, so Twilight Princess randomizer for a bit, so yeah, that'll be the next thing. Damn it! I need to start paying attention. There's good chances by the end of the month I'll have some more planned for that week. I might fill it out. But for now, let's just leave it as is and, you know, relax a little bit. In that case, we need to be left, was it? Shit. That's that. Right, left, right, left, left. No, right. No memory whatsoever. Okay. Right, left, right, left. Shit. 5 tries to 4 tries left. Let's do this. Spoilers. Mario dies canonically in this level. Oh, good. So, fuck! So this is how it's supposed to go. Or actually, this is not your level. This is a different one. Can you at least get past the first part? Let me try. Left, right, left, left. No, it was right! I have no memory, apparently. Why are the gods angry with me, I ask? I honestly don't know what I did to offend Poseidon, god of spikes. Who's the god of spikes? Is there a god of spikes? Checkpoint! Checkpoint refreshes everything. Alright, we got past the... We did, in fact, get past it. Wonderful. The god of memory. There must be a god of memory in some fiction. Oh, this might be a level now. We might have missed the opportunity to die. And now might be on to sort of a Odysseus style, like getting over it style epic. This is Sisyphean, and that's a different Greek myth. That's a different one. Okay. You've done DK64 like 7 times? Dang, I've only done it once, and that was a ton. That was a lot. That took a while. 5 whole streams. 24 hours in total. That's, we're gonna have to have some lighter stuff. And, you know, like I said, I think Titanfall 2, can't go wrong with that. It should be pretty straightforward. Oh boy. All these side spring jumps are tough. Should we do house rule or something? Like, if we lose progress in this, house rule. We lose progress in it, that counts as a life. Also, traditionally, if we run out of time, that just you know, fuck. That gets rid of all our lives as well. And in a case like this, where we spend 500 seconds farting around, that's everything. That's just how we make levels like this, you know, do the lightning round. The Greek Titaness of memory is Mnemosine. Mnemosine? M-N? How do you say that? Is that like Nemo, or is it like memo? Maybe it's memo, like root memory. Mnemosine. Or Sine? Who could say? I'm sure I could Google it, but I'm not, because I'm trapped in a spring situation. Alright. And we gotta, like, actually land on the next spring to count progress lost. And lose a life. Hey, hey, hey! Here, I think I have to... Okay, so... I jump to the side here, you think? Sub incentives is for, the sub incentive is for Twitch subs, artist. You know this, gotta say. It's a premium thing. If we wanted a refresh, it has to come from a Twitch subscriber. I'm never opposed to that, and you know, if there's any reason to, like, break the, if there were to be any reason to break the runtime of Odyssey, it would be for $5. But, you know, a month. $6 a month, actually, currently, at current rates. But, you know, failing that, I would like to get through this, and end at a decent time. That doesn't count as lost progress. We didn't gain, we can't lose progress we didn't have. Except we did you know what I mean. That's not a head. This is a head! I think this is fair. I think this is fair. When it comes to levels like this, we gotta make up the rules as we go. We gotta, you know, the spirit is, we would, if, you know, this level would be longer than the Odyssey if we did it 12 tries worth at, you know, 10 minutes a try. This is longer than that, but, we gotta keep it in line. We gotta keep things moving. And hey, we got progress again. Let's try our best not to lose it. That was progress lost. We were on there. We were solid. We stopped. And it was lost for a second. Hey, Chard. This is a hard level that is threatening my whole gimmick. This level is if we did it like regular lightning round style, longer, has a longer length than the Odyssey. But I'm trying my best, and looks like there is a way. Just jump around. Yeah! I think I did a side jump earlier. We've gone through like half these heads, so that's fun. I will say, this technically isn't killing me so much. It's not timing me out so much, but I still think this is fair. And also, I won't count that. Certain sacrifices must be made, you know, by killing this level. Perhaps we are killing our whole gimmick. Isn't that a sad thing when a gimmick is killed? You know, like, you know, so goes this level, so goes the world, you know. Oh no, you violated, you know, Zeus is the god of lightning. Zeus is the god of lightning, right? Don't worry about the sub incentive. He's not currently a subscriber, so he can't actually refresh our lives. Though any subscriber can, and I thank you for that. It's your right. You don't want to violate Zeus's law. Remember that, everyone. Zeus's law is very important. That's a very big part of the Odyssey, is Zeus's law. And Zeus says, we shall have 12 tries. That is what Zeus has been telling us all. What? Huh? Looks like we jumped down from here. Is that right? What? Huh? Okay, this is new. This is new. I'm pretty sure Zeus has some connection to lightning. He's like the god of thunder, and you know, he communicates in thunder, and the lightning round, well, that's just you know, thunder's other half. They're related concepts. So jot that all down. I got a mushroom. I lost a mushroom. I gotta do like a ducking jump. For that, I need to hold up. Oh, jeez. Now you go back down the whole way? Do you come back all the way as well? Oh, jeez. I'm pretty sure we need to get, not just a mushroom, but a fire flower. Don't tell me we have to go all the way back multiple ways, multiple times. I'm jumping this way. Okay, you won't. Cool, thanks. Okay, we need 2 other power-ups. So that's not a good sign. I think we need... Wait, there's more red coins than that. There's a lot of red coins in this level. Okay, well that's easy. I didn't lose progress. No progress was lost. This was an intentional fall. I cannot this time... This doesn't help me. Not here. We're not counting that. This is where we'll count only spring jumps. And in this case, we don't have to actually do spring jumps. We do regular jumps. Now we can regular jump out there. And these aren't highly technical, so they don't count as progress, lost or otherwise. With the fire flower, you can also hit this and then jump up here. What? Okay, get rid of these, and then big jump up there. Wait a minute. Climb these vines as Big Mario. Okay, without losing our Fire Mario. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Yep. We're like most of the way down with our time. So like, you know, I'll say we run out, that's it. Also, I think it would be fair to like, if we were to die, lose serious, I'll say any progress. I think we should, if we were like to die and lose all of our progress, I think another full run of this would be not terribly viable. I don't know what we would do, but point is, we're near to the point where we'd have to give up, and that should count for something, especially because, you know, right now there's like you know, the what is it called, the guys who live in Odysseus's house. The suitors, a whole bunch of shit is happening with them right now in Odyssey time. If you go look, I have no idea how far into the movie that stuff happens, but we are in the last hour of it by now, probably, I think. So, as far as the runtime of the stream goes, so we should hustle. Okay. I think I can. And this will get us... What'll get us? Ha! Nothing until we, destroy that. Oh, it's a big one. This is, again, not what I need. And we're, like, multiple power-ups then away from an ending, and we got 50 seconds to get it. We're about to time out, folks. There it is. There's no two ways about it. This must have been what Odysseus felt on that island for when he was on 7-Year Island. He was like, wait, how long have I been here? How long has this level been? What? Pretty long, Odysseus. It's been pretty long. I think we've given it its due. You know, I'm not spoiling nothing. That's literally the myth. It's literally, it's... I don't know, you be the judge. Also, gotta be careful. I should say no more, it's a great movie. And if you don't know the 1,000-year-old myth, it's, you know, I think going in spoiler-free is a good idea, honestly. I didn't know it was as good as it was. It's a really good poem, apparently. Thank you. Yeah, no repeat checkpoints. We lost it all there. What happened? What happened to our time? What happened to our crew? I'll say no more. It's later on. There's another checkpoint later on. That's nice. We didn't get to it. Dismiss. Thank you. Timeout was, we didn't need to take off all those extra lives. The timeout is what got us. So, that's fun. Rock Party is up. Rock Party, please confirm. Put that in chat for you, Rock Party. Oh, I think we have like 5 levels left, and it's like 850, 840. Yeah, we're probably going to be well over the Odyssey, I think, at this current rate, unless things go really quickly. Uh, it's hard to go short when so many people have so many lovely levels that we need to give the full time of day to. It's kind of hard, challenging. It's a good problem to have, I'll say, I believe. How about that last card? G, not D. So, vacation. Okay, let me talk about that vacation. I've been planning it. So, last week on the Friday stream, Rock Party was like, do a road trip instead of a flying there trip. And during this last week, I have seriously been considering the logistics of that and working out the details. And let's just start the level while I'm talking. Time is of the essence. Movie. I've been seriously working out the logistics of that during the last week, and despite some promising initial plans where I was like looking at like a route and going like, okay, start Frontier City, then Silver Dollar City, what between Cedar Point and I guess maybe Six Flags St. Louis, or Six Flags Great America or something, or maybe Holiday World, stick in Dollywood. Let me consider these other mid-east parks other than Cedar Point and Kings Island. But then I started looking at the thing. I started looking at the operating calendars, really, and realizing a simple truth. Yes, sudden death because Rock Party. Has Rock Party said anything in a minute? If Rock Party said anything, he'd be good for it, but failing that, we gotta move on account of the rules. This is helpful for our Odyssey goal. So thank you. I started looking at the operating calendars, and what I realized was pretty soon all those parks are going to be like weekday only. Are going to be like weekday only parks, not we did a level from you, artist, I think earlier. You're already fixed good. We did all those parks are going to be weekday only pretty soon, and what that means is if I wanted to do it, I would have to do it like immediately, and that's difficult. And that timing wise would mean like, okay, I basically have to leave, as soon as possible. And I do still, I showed the calendar earlier, and I am going to be going in like 2 weeks time, basically early August rather than late August, because still, all the parks are going to be open later in early August versus later August, even if I am just going to go to Cedar Point and Kings Island, which, yeah, I'll say, I'm going to go to just Cedar Point and Kings Island. I'm going to fly there, not take a car. It also, rent a car when I get there, It also just came down to, like, looking at a map and realizing, like, okay, so this day, I basically need to drive 10 hours, and there's not time for... I can't get like a good theme park day, even a half theme park day, unless I pick a bad theme park, at which point it's like, why bother doing that? Just like hustle to Cedar Point a little bit faster. Just have a 10-hour drive here, a 10-hour drive there, and, it starts to add up. I will say, like, some of those ideas that I have, I might eventually do just in a shorter trip. Like, I could see going to Frontier City. I could even see going to Silver Dollar City. That's like 6 hours from me at max. So like a shorter like weekend trip where I went to Silver Dollar and Frontier City over the course of a weekend. Maybe even I did see that there was like a hot spring national park like 5 hours from me, and it's like that sounds kind of nice. I like hot springs. I really enjoyed the ones in Japan. Maybe I could go there and soak in some hot springs and enjoy some Mother Nature. Like, that sounds cool as well. Hey, thank you for the thing, Oxen. Oh, by the way, memes needs to confirm for this next one. Memes, if you please. So yeah, I looking into it, it just seemed like I was looking down the barrel of like 6-hour drives, 5-hour drives, 10-hour drives, and also parks that's increasingly were like, yeah, we're open until 6 o'clock, until 7 o'clock. And it's like, okay, well, even if I arrive there around 5, I can't get in that many hours of a theme park. You know, that's not worth it. And I don't want to stay an extra day in these places. You know, that just adds up even more to the price of the whole trip. And, you know, day by day, also, like, the thought of being, like, 2 weeks out of town for just, you know, I would like to be home sooner and do streams again sooner, and with that in mind, just a single week of Cedar Point and Six Flags, or not Six Flags, it is the Six Flags chain, but Kings Island will be the time, and then yeah, that'll be good. That'll be the plan. I'll say, you know, I will probably do some road trips in the future. Like, definitely will go to Fiesta, Texas again sometime. You know, I really enjoyed the one trip I've done to Fiesta, Texas before, and I'll do that again when Coda Land is open, and maybe throw in the other Texas theme park. That is to say, San Diego, SeaWorld San Diego. But, like, yeah, I just can't do... I don't think I can do whole giant ass trip as easy as I thought it would be, as I was thinking. I'm just gonna fly, and the hell with thing. I will say, we'll do eventually some other trips where I hit a bunch of parks. I will have to drive like 3-4 hours in between like Cedar Point and Kings Island. Worth noting, there will be some amount of big drives in this trip, but not like 10-hour drives, and you know, it won't be that bad. In other words, it'll be pretty manageable, and looking forward to it. Eventually, I'll go to California, and I'll do all the California parks, and they're like a couple hours apart, so there'll be some hotel switching there. Eventually, I'll do another San Diego trip and go down south from DFW, and hell, maybe I'll go to Frontier City again, or for the first time, and Silver Dollar City for the second time. Maybe. You know, from here, there's just not very... I feel like road trip-wise, I'd rather just go on trips of things that are like a maximum of like 6 hours away. You know, I don't want to be like 10 hours out of Dodge, because then, you know, to get home, I might be looking at a 10-hour drive or a multi-day, 5 hours one day, 5 hours the next, with like nothing interesting in between. That doesn't sound good. And like, no offense to America and all, but like, unlike Japan, where wherever you go, there's good, cool shit everywhere. You know, something interesting in every city. Like, if I looked at the route in between like Silver Dollar City and like Cedar Point, you know, trying to find like something to see along the way, along the travel day, the best I could do would be like, oh, you can see a giant chair. You can, you know, here's a giant mailbox. And it's like, okay, that's not bad. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to, that's like a 5-minute stop. That's not like a, you know, something that makes my day. Makes a whole day worth having, I guess. All right, this is your first level that you made. Excellent. Let's see. Let's do it. That's enough thoughts on the vacation. Probably next time I'll have some more. Probably next time, like, wait, by next week we'll be 2 weeks away from the trip. So by the time after that, I'll tell you about all the itinerary and all that. And I will for sure tell you that I have by next week, I should have all my tickets bought. I'll say that much. I have not done that yet. I put in this code correctly. So, Oxer, can you please check this? BS5 VSK Please check the code. It seems to be not working. Most of your towns just have closed stores for tourist attractions. I don't know, I could call that a tourist attraction. I mean, I'll say, like, when people talk about visiting my city. Well, there's Six Flags Over Texas. There's Universal Kids now. There's such things as the Video Game Museum in Frisco. There's like a couple of things I guess you could visit in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I feel like the thing people always talk about is like, ooh, Whataburger. You gotta go to the restaurants. Which is like, yeah, it's just a chain, but it's local chain. You can't get Whataburger in, like, the Northeast. Central MA has Big E, though. Is what's in Ohio for food? What should I get, like, after I've left the park? Cedar Point. I don't know I'm gonna eat that much at the parks, you know. I'm sure they have very fine food, but, like, it's theme park food, and, you know, I'd probably rather just go somewhere else after and eat that way. What's good in Ohio? B5S. Okay, so reverse the 5 and the S. Gotcha. B5S. There we go. Simple level. Let's go. Puzzle solving. Single player. Simple level. Apparently, it's a bit of a troll level. It's like a brain teaser, apparently. What's so trolly about it? Seems pretty simple to me. I don't know if we need to do any sort of fancy jumping to get this key, but we managed it. I'm a little curious if, like, I need to keep going here. Or go down the pipe. I'm gonna go down the pipe.
Oh, no.
Okay. What was the clear rate? What was the clear rate, by the way? 1 second, let me check. Make sure I know how many tries this gets. It's 1 out of 50. That's like 2%. Okay, so that's less than 4, so we get 7. Though also, let me randomize that. And we got Bowser, and there we go.
Oh, no.
Cool. So yeah, that's a lot of thought went into that, you know. Just, I think the reality, here's what I think the reality is. If you want to do a theme park road trip, do it in July or June, when the parks are open all day, and there's not, you know, they're not, closed down a good deal. This just wasn't the right time for it. This just wasn't the right month for it. Unfortunately, but hey, you know, this life is long. I will, think I might have, okay, actually, I can use this reset door to reset door, and then we can get the platform back. Okay, cool. We're good. Yes, I figured out that I needed the spring. I got that much. Need it right here to get into this hole. And then, hey, a checkpoint. Lovely. Now we have a precise, little bit of a precise jump here. Let's, see if we can do this.
Oh, no.
It's a tight thing. It's a tight thing.
Oh, no.
Maybe one day I'll do a theme park trip like what I was intending. Though I will say, I think even for such a trip, it might be a good idea to start in, like, you know, have it be, like, start in the Northwest, you know, rather than starting in DFW, and maybe do it with a rental car. I also did have someone say, like, hey, do think about it before you put, like, 2,000 miles on your car driving up and down the country. Think about it for 2 seconds. Maybe you should rent a car instead. Like, the amount that it costs to rent a car versus, like, you know, the cost of all those miles going on it
Oh, no.
kind of evens itself out, actually. Here we go. It's our last try. It's our last attempt. Let's do this. And let's get the spring, too. Don't die. Whoa! Okay, yeah, this part is a soft lock. This pit is a soft lock. Thanks for the warning. I think the warning came about the same time I fell into the soft lock. So, I could not avoid it. Also, I'm not sure I would have guessed which pit you meant. The second key here is a soft lock, so you only need one key, I suppose, and that other key is the key. This key, you don't want it. It's not good. That's our last life. Thank you for the level. It was interesting. It had some fun troll nonsense to it. It was fun figuring out each individual step. Could use a little bit more like changes in elevation, I would say. Like that would be that's a way to make for some interesting traversal. Changes in elevation. Like Splatoon, same story. Same story as Splatoon Raiders. Elevates up and down, I guess. We didn't even get a 10th of the way through? Damn. Well, we did our best. Thank you, Oxer. LSL, you are up. LSL, you are up. Go ahead and confirm for me. Let's do it. Oh, has LSL said anything in a minute? Let me scroll for a second. Not in a minute, but maybe right now LSL is going to. Let me hit next and yeah. You can always submit it next week. That is very true. That is so true. You are dead right, Chard. And this week, we are looking to go fast. We are looking to end before the length of Odyssey. Are we already over? Let's see. The recording has been going on for 2 hours and 44 minutes. Okay. We have to finish this in the next, like, 5 minutes. I think we might already be credits right now. LSL, do confirm, but I'm just going to I'm just gonna go. Aircraft shenanigans. Let's just go. We gotta move. We got like 5 minutes to beat the runtime of the Odyssey. We could round up to 3 hours. That would count. Would it not? It would not. We're probably already in Credits Town right now, aren't we? Cool. That's 1 death. Your level is going to make a drag? Yeah, I bet. I nearly died right there, and that was that. But, no, we lived. Not for long! Thank you for the level, LSL! It's so hard to end a stream early. It's so hard to end a stream early. Thank you! Let me go ahead and hit dismiss. Chard is up next. Slightly longer than... For me, a short stream. Should I avoid using your sub incentive this stream? Oh, well, maybe this will go fast. Maybe this... We have been doing this a bunch. If your level is the level I think it is. We have seen it a good amount of times. We do... Maybe this is the run, and then it'll be over. That's what we gotta hope for. We gotta hope for this in 1, so we can get under the time of the Odyssey. This didn't work. Hang on. Let me just you know what? You must have put in the code a little bit wrong. Let me just go to light courses real fast. And we'll pick from Find It. Melody Patrick. Did I pass it? Blue lift platforming. I might have passed it. Shit. Oh, this is liked. This isn't played, so it's not chronological. It doesn't include things that I liked a million times ago because the level took a million tries. Thwomp slide. This would be it, right? Maybe I typed it wrong because this code looks the same. My mistake. Whatever. We got it. Let's go. Let's do it. Thwomp slide. For me, a short stream is slightly longer than the Odyssey. Apparently. Hey, you know, that workshop that a bit and that's a title. That's a VOD title right there. Workshop that a bit, that's a VOD title. Hey, memes. We failed your level earlier. You weren't here, so we didn't get many tries. Did we fail or did we pass? I don't remember. This level we've done a bunch of times, so we know the parts. We've seen a whole lot of it, time and time again. This might be it. And I'll say, I think like we've gotten past. Honestly, the first room is probably the biggest killer, and everything after that is somewhat doable, generally. If we can get past this part and get to whatever lies beyond, I'll be feeling pretty good. Shit. Okay, you know what? I fucked up that. I gotta remember to hit the on-off before I go down there, or else there's no point in coming up. Because I have to come down to get a coin and get a key and then... Not good. You can choose to use your sub-incentive chard. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. What's your best judgment? I'll say, if you refrain, how about next time I'll let you skip the line once as well. I'll let you do a sudden death and I'll let you do an express pass. How about that? As a fair recompense. How would you like that? Do you like that? Nice. We don't really see enough express pass anyway, so I think that would be a cool thing to allow for once. And maybe we won't even need it. Maybe this is the run. Not this run. Seems fair? Alright, alright. Well, we're probably definitely going over the Odyssey. And also, it's worth noting, we still have to give the thing where I tell you when I'm streaming next, tell you when the next stream is, all that. I suppose I don't have that much to say. There's just like a couple things next week, and then... Yeah, if you don't beat it. That's true. Yes, if we don't beat it, that would be a good deal. But if we do beat it, we'll have some, I'll allow a trade in good faith, you know. I think that abides by Zeus's rules. That doesn't work. That's not a thing. That's not a statement that means anything. 4 tries left. Imagine if this is it. We definitely didn't do it on our first try, so we probably are not good for time right now, for what it's worth. But, hey, you know, it was always going to be tight. And, I will say, it seems like it's very close. Oh, you know what? That does make you drop the spring. Not that the spring would be terribly useful. It would only let you, die. Oh, wow. You see that? I stood on a icicle for a second, and I didn't die. Okay, hit that on-off. Down here. Damn it. Yeah, so many close calls there. It's all down to these 3. It's all down to these 3 lives. Here we go. Go up from here. Over. We got the Thwomp Shaft again. down. What I need to do is...
Oh no!
I need to get the hang of getting up that shaft. We got 2 tries this time. Make them count. Let's make this happen.
Oh,
Not
no.
that time. And not that time either. Chart, you gonna refresh? If no refresh, that's fine. We'll do that deal. Thank you for understanding, and you know, go see The Odyssey in theaters now. It's really good. I liked it a lot. And oh, that's the last level. There we go. It is over. This is definitely one of the shortest viewer level streams we've had in a while, and it has been running for 2 hours and 53 minutes. I think that is over the length of The Odyssey. I think that is just barely over. Folks, before I end, I still have to say all the things that I say at the end of a stream. So let's do that real fast. Next time will be Monday. This Monday, I'll be resuming Sonic 06. A couple months ago, we did Sonic's episode in 2 streams, and I'm hoping to also do Shadow's episodes in 2 streams. Look for that next Monday, this Monday, and the one after that. Then, later that week, Truck-kun is Supporting Me from Another World is coming out, and I'm gonna do a live stream checking it out on its launch day. I'm assuming it's not booty. If reviews come out and they say it's booty, if it gets like 2 out of 5s and things of that nature, I might cancel that. I might say, okay, never mind. Sorry, but I'm thinking it'll be pretty okay. It'll be fun. I'm thinking it'll be a good one, and it's definitely one of the games I'm most interested in for the rest of the year. It's not well, actually, I guess after Splatoon came out, now maybe it might be top 5. It might have been number 6 before last week, so yeah, that'll be all right. It's probably top 10, but also I don't know that I have 10 games I want the rest of the year, so that's by default practically. I want it. I'm looking forward to it. That'll be on Wednesday. And then if you're looking for more of this, that'll be next week at 6 p.m. Central. We'll see how long next week goes. So you see there's everything I just said, but in calendar form. And next month, you know, I got some plans. They're pretty early. We might add some more streams to this over time, but the basic thrust of it is like, yeah, for the next 2 weeks, just Shadow, Sonic 06, Mario Maker, that one Truck-kun thing, and then I'll be away at Cedar Point and Kings Island. And then once I'm back, look for viewer levels, look for Twilight Princess Randomizer, look for Titanfall 2 campaign, and maybe something else in that Sunday the 23rd to Thursday the 27th range. Maybe something there, or the 30th maybe. We'll fill that out later. We'll see about that in the future. All right, folks. Let me see where I can send the Twitch folk. Let me see where I can send the Twitch folk right now on a raid, and then yeah, we'll be done. Let me see. Scrolling. Giant Bomb is doing their road trip. Can I send you to Giant Bomb? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So, I will see you on Monday for Sonic 06 with Shadow the Hedgehog. I'll see you on Wednesday for Truck-kun, and I'll see you next Friday for more of this. And I'll see you various times in the future for various more streams. Give your love to the VOD, also to the short form content, and I will see y'all on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, various points in the future. Good night. Have a good weekend.